What is up? It is World News Indie. Ren, there you go. Oh, you know what? I just realized too. It says World New Indie on our thing. So let's just take that off. That's what happens when you fucking do this shit off the whim.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. Okay, guys. So this is World News Indie Podcast. We're happy that you're here. We have some news stories for you. We decided to do this. Why did we decide to do this? I mean, I'm sick of... My main reason for doing this is I'm sick of anger in the news.
Yeah.
Like even if it's something that upsets you, there's no point in being angry. Just like be methodical and detailed and think about it, you know?
Yeah, well, the other thing too is I find sometimes there's too many biases, and I think with news you kind of have to be objective about it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times
that's the problem. We're saturated with biases, you know, like that's exactly like there is no news without opinion anymore. Like what is there? Like are there really any news broadcasting companies that don't have any kind of bias in their presentation or any kind of opinion based motive?
Well,
like, really, what is there?
Most channels you go to are specific to a certain bias.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that's why I try and watch one of each. Like my two guys that I watch are polar opposite. One is Cenk Uygur on the Young Turks. Yeah. He's my left wing progressive bias. And then I watch Tim Pool, who's not that right, but pretty right. And he's kind of my right. He keeps an eye on the right wingers for me, and then I take those 2 points of view in each story and kind of just like sort it out and sort out my own opinion.
So that's the point of this. That's the point of this.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Why don't you tell the people what our point is?
Well, our point is, I think that we don't want to tell you which way to go with your mind. You know, we want you to just make it up on your own. Make up your own mind, and we will bring you some news, and you can decide which point of view or even which side you want to go on. But we're not here to tell you sides. We're just here to tell you what's what.
Yeah, and just kind of to go through a story. Now, I kind of like... My first story is... I actually was on Twitter today, on our Twitter account, and I was scrolling, and I saw these posts from AOC, like the progressive, you know, like Green New Deal, hardcore leftist. You know, she's really good at what she does. She's got a huge following. She's a kingpin for the far left democratic movement. 100%.
Sorry, who are we talking about?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Okay, all right.
And she's a congresswoman in New York. I forget which. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But she's she's a very, very popular and prominent politician. I don't know much about her, but I know that she's left wing, if that's what you want to say. And I was scrolling Twitter, and I started seeing these tweets from her. It looked official, had a check mark. You know, and it was saying like really stupid shit. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, wow, how is that fucking real? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. And it got me to thinking. And well, anyway, let's read this article. So and then I'll tell you what reading this made me think. Okay. So this is Politico.
And from what the date today, we're Wednesday. And we are April.
May 31st.
May 31st, because we're almost into June now. So, but and is this article current?
Yes, this is just like here. Let's see if I can get a date.
Okay.
It is. You'd think it would say it right at the start, the date.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Okay.
It was yesterday. Okay, so
that's good.
So it says, no, this isn't the real AOC you may have seen on Twitter. Ooh. No, that wasn't actually Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez you saw tweeting about having a crush on the Twitter chief Elon Musk. An account impersonating the New York Democrat cropped up over the weekend, going viral and catching the attention of both Musk and Ocasio-Cortez. FYI, there's a fake account on here impersonating me and going viral, she says. The Twitter CEO has engaged it, boosting visibility. Ocasio-Cortez tweeted on Tuesday, "It is releasing false policy statements and gaining spread. I am assessing with my team how to move forward. In the meantime, be careful of what you see." Musk has previously responded to the tweet from a fake account claiming to have a crush on him with a fire emoji. As of Tuesday evening, the fake account had racked up more than 130,000 followers. The account showing the name Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez press release parody was verified with a blue check mark, and I wanted to talk about that. The verification system used to be for a form of authentication for Twitter accounts, in part a way to prevent users from confusing the accounts of government officials and famous users with fakes. Under Musk, the site has switched to pay-to-verify system, allowing any user to subscribe and have a blue check attached to their profile. And that is why... Okay, so I read this article, and I saw the tweets, and I'm just thinking, like, man, like, what if someone did that to me?
Yeah.
You know, like, what if someone who had something against me or didn't like something I said online or whatever?
And that's if you knew. That's if you found out about it.
Well, but that's the thing about the whole verification thing on Twitter is that, like, you can pay $8 a month to get a blue check mark.
True.
That's what it is now. So you can make a fake account and get verified. So, like, that's a slippery fucking slope. And it got me thinking, what if someone did that to me? But also, I started thinking about, like, elections coming up and all this chat GBT and AI and all these like, the other day my wife was showing me this serial killer documentary, but it was done with an artificial intelligence, like, graphics. Oh. And it was Albert Fish, like the notorious serial killer. It was his face telling his own story.
Oh, geez.
And it looked like a real person. And so I'm thinking, like, what's going to happen? You know, I first started thinking, like, what if someone did this to me and said something that went viral,
right,
that I didn't say, and everyone in the whole world thought I did. That's going to be very common. And I started thinking about, like, Donald Trump and Joe Biden and Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and fucking all these pundits, all these reporters, all these journalists. And I'm like, we're not going to have any fucking idea what is real or fake anymore. It's insane.
This is true. With the AI, absolutely. Yeah, we're... Whew.
So if you could make a troll Twitter account with a verified check mark, and honestly, I thought I had to look into it. I scrolled it and read the tweet, and saw AOC saying something very stupid. Didn't make any sense. It just made her look very bad. And then I'm like, wait a minute, did she actually say that? I got to look into this. And I looked into it. I'm like, holy shit. And then I found this article. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
So that's next level trolling.
Exactly. And that's why I put that in the title. This is the evolution of trolling. Now trolls are going to have your voice, your face, your favorite music, your podcast, everything that you've ever said. They're going to have, and they're going to use against you.
Do you know what else is a concern? Voice notes.
Yes, exactly. Like AI, like I remember I was watching Tim Pool, my favorite right winger, and he was showing some posts of people AIing his voice and making him say things that weren't him, and you could kind of tell. Yeah. But for like the new listener, there's no way you ever would have known that it wasn't him. Like I could tell because I watched him like Chank and him. Those are basically my two news sources, right?
Yeah. I was thinking back in the day, impersonators, right?
Yeah, totally.
This is the same thing, but with tools.
With tools, with a tool belt.
Yeah. Oof. Yes. Wow.
Like imagine somebody went on to your account and hacked into your account and posted a video that is all AI of you saying all this horrible stuff about your husband that you didn't say, and you had to explain it, or your boss, or your mom, or your family. Yeah.
Well, here's what some people have brought up to my attention. I had a conversation with a couple people about this AI stuff, and they'll steal the material that you write, and then reproduce it.
Reproduce in different, organize the words in different ways to say different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's it, and that's like Donald Trump, fucking asshole. I get it. No one likes him. I don't like him. Fuck that guy. But the fact of the matter is that even still, that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He has spoken so much on TV that you could cut up all the words that he uses and get him to say whatever you want.
Yes.
And he has so much. There's so much information for AI to source to replicate his voice and his face and everything, that it's going to be crazy. We're not going to know what's real and what's fake, no matter what you. So that's why I want a news show like this where it's like, we got to talk about this shit, without being mad.
It's true.
We're entering a situation in the world where
the Twilight Zone.
We're not gonna know real from fake. There's gonna be no way to know what's going on. It's gonna be totally impossible to know. And that's why I thought this was a good first story for our
starter.
podcast.
Yes.
Because it's something that's going to affect us all, and that potentially could affect us all. Like, it could affect me and your family. It could affect you and your family. It could affect it directly, because just because it's being done on a macro scale, that instantly tells you that on a micro scale it's going to be being done a million times more. Like, this is going to be used to fuck with people. Like, I guarantee you, like, all of a sudden, let's say this guy says something bad to you. He was a creep at the bar or whatever. And then you got pissed off, and you go to your friend who knows all this fucking AI shit, get him to make him a video of him, like, confessing to a crime, and send it to the cops. And yeah, But until you get the source of the material, which is endless, because the internet is fucking infinite, and there's infinite amounts of trolls.
It's like some Amber Heard stuff,
Yes,
like,
totally, exactly. There's too much information.
Yeah.
Wow.
People can, and another thing too is that, the expression, there's no such thing as bad press and all that. It's because people eat it up. People like it.
I know. They're addicted to it. And
even though they go, oh, this might not be true, they still want to hear it, and it still sticks in their mind.
Yeah, it's like cable TV in the 80s, where it just was designed to steal your life. Let you sit there and watch the commercials.
Yeah.
Watch your show and then get all the propaganda comes in the commercials. And that's the thing, is that a lot of this AI and CGI shit that we're going to be experiencing is going to be used full throttle as propaganda. I mean, the government's got to step up on us. They know exactly what's going on. They're going to be like quietly sourcing these deep fakes to use against their political opponents. And that is fascism. But both sides are going to be doing it. Both sides.
We're willingly giving up all the information.
All the information. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I've kind of admitted defeat. Like, I got nothing to hide. I'm not breaking any laws.
Another thing is, how many times have you agreed to a terms and conditions and not read the whole thing?
Oh God, it happens on a daily basis, basically.
So that's the way that they can say, we took your, info or whatever, but
and that's it. And like, I think I've been desensitized because I'm really not paranoid. It's like, whatever, I'm just in the situation where I'm just like, I got nothing to hide. I don't break any laws. I don't care if the internet knows where I am or what I'm talking about, because I'm not nefarious. I'm not a criminal.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, wow, what about like the ads? Like, you talk about something, and then all of a sudden the ad pops up on Facebook like 5 minutes later. It's crazy.
This happened to me.
But I actually kind of like it in a way. Like, I'm actually kind of like down with the convenience, as long as you're a good person and you're not fucking with anybody.
The algorithm is your friend.
And a lot of people are all like, oh, privacy this, privacy that. But, I'm at the same point, I'm just like, I think we lost that a long time ago. I think we lost our privacy.
We did, yeah. Yeah. Once you use a computer, a phone, any device, you've agreed to that. It's a risk.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so
let's move on to the next article.
That was my story. I think it was a good way to start the show, and let's see what you brought for us. Let me just I
think this is from yesterday. I think it's from April 30th.
Right, and this is a heavy topic. But very, very...
Yeah, well... So
Do you have the article called up, or do you want me to read it?
yeah, you can read it because it's very small. I have the light in my eyes. I can't read it.
Okay, all right.
You mind?
So
It's not
yeah,
it's not
okay.
very long.
So spectra of conversion therapy feared at summer camp aimed at teen boys. Spectra of conversion therapy. What does spectra mean?
Spectre. No.
Spectre. I don't know what that means. Spectre.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay. Well, we
so
don't know.
so why don't you give me a bit of a rough rundown on what conversion therapy is?
All right. So it's basically when they want to try to change your belief or whatever it is that you identify as, like
So this is
gender.
like kids that are coming out as gay and their parents are like, fuck that.
Well,
We're gonna
not
get that shit out of
necessarily.
you.
This is more of a well, actually, no. Yeah, you'll see. There's going to be in the article what this you'll see. Let's just read it and then
Okay, I'll read it. All right.
otherwise I'm just going to reveal it. Yeah.
Language of ad concerns members of LGBTQ community Hampton woman claims to RCMP when Vivian Myers-Jones read the description of a summer camp being offered to teenage boys, she was instantly reminded of her childhood and the expectation that she conformed to the traditions, ideals of being a male. So this is a trans male? Trans man?
It doesn't matter at this point. Continue. Yeah, you'll see.
This was something I had very silently struggled with for 40 years of my life, said Myers-Jones, a transgender Hampton woman. Okay, so when she heard that Caton's Island, a church-run summer camp in St. John River near St. John, advertised a camp described as guiding boys to authentic manhood, from confusion to clarity, she was upset. The language used in ad worried Myers-Jones so much that she reported to the RCMP with concerns it had the hallmarks of conversion therapy, which is illegal. The RCMP were asked about the complaint, but spokesperson Corporal Hans Woulette said the force doesn't usually confirm whether police are investigating unless charges have been laid in court. Those involved in the camp, which also forged camp, are not talking about their plans, nor about a since-deleted social media post. People who have studied the controversial practice of conversion therapy say proving a crime has been committed is difficult. Cultural confusion regarding masculinity. A post on Caton's Island Facebook page, which has since been taken down, said, "We will endeavor to guide the young men at this camp out of the cultural confusion regarding masculinity to a biblical clarity by using character studies, by scripture, history, and modern times of real men who stood strong and made a positive difference." The post said authentic masculinity is the expected outcome. Caton's Island's website said the camp, which is open to teenage boys between 14 and 16, will provide a clear definition of authentic manhood and give young men a clear destination. Phrases like cultural confusion regarding masculinity and authentic masculinity really jumped out at Myers-Jones. The language of the ad can be taken from the old days, she said. I felt I had to report at that point, she said. It all looked way too familiar to me. I suffered on account of it. I don't want to see anyone else suffer, especially the way I did. Caton's Island operated by Wesleyan Church, although anyone may apply to attend the camp. CBC News called and emailed Caton's Island camp director and Wesleyan Church of Canada's head office in Sussex, but has not received a response. The New Brunswick Human Rights Commission was also asked whether Forge Camp violates human rights, but a spokesperson declined to comment because the issue is the subject of a criminal complaint. Language matters, a lawyer says. The legal standard for a criminal charge of practicing conversion therapy is very high, said Fredericton lawyer and advocate Amber Chisholm, who is also a board member of Imprint Youth, which works with the LGBTQ community. Conversion therapy describes an intentional choice to have a queer or transgender child stop identifying that way and begin presenting as straight or cisgender, okay? In the wake of decriminalization of conversion therapy, she said, the wording of any advertising is likely to be crafted very carefully to not transgress the criminal code. And she said it's entirely possible that this camp was created to teach life skills which organizers see as valuable to cisgender boys and nothing more. Chris Holm does believe, however, a larger conversion is needed about gender rules. The issue isn't necessarily that those life skills have no value. It is that they're being tied to very rigid cisgender and heteronormative gender rules that constrain who can and cannot participate, or how certain kinds of children who are assigned male should express themselves. She worries this kind of language can have an effect on transgender, nonconforming, or queer children, that it's likely going to be negative and likely going to contribute to people staying closeted. Okay, that's... And then it says, Scavo said it's particularly concerning when vulnerable youths are involved We're very concerned, and it's why we're monitoring the situation. He said he's reached out to the camp to get some more information, but he hasn't heard back from anyone.
Yeah. So it's important to note here that the law, they passed a law in terms of all of this. It's against the law now. Okay.
What is conversion therapy?
Yeah, in Canada it is.
So conversion therapy is when, like, well, let's say I had a queer kid, and he said, "I'm queer," and I was like, "No, you're not. You're going to go to conversion therapy." Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay.
And I also read, and I can't find the article now, but that in Vancouver, it's prevalent, and it's still happening. And these are people who are testimonials.
Well, is that like a Christian thing?
To pray the gay away. Have you ever heard that expression?
No, I wasn't really heavily exposed to religion. I'm a confirmed Catholic, but my mom wasn't too strict with it.
Here's what I'm seeing in all of this. I'm going to try to be as objective as possible with this, but I think that because it doesn't affect a lot of heterosexuals, let's call it that,
which is, and let's be honest, heterosexuals are the majority of the population as well. So it doesn't affect the majority of the population.
Statistically, yeah. And so that's why I think it's getting ignored and kind of like brushed under the rug, because
14 to 16, that's the age. It's pretty specific.
So, I don't have any children, but you have a child. And so I know we're not going to make this about us, but I don't think that I agree that this law should exist, but I also think that, and I no, let's put it this way. I don't think that you should force anyone to be anything that they don't want to be, or that they aren't in any way, shape, or form.
But why? But my question is, for all this is like,
but for who? Who does this benefit?
Well, I'm just trying to play the devil's advocate here right now.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Is like, what if as a parent you feel that they're being foolish and that their judgment's being clouded, and maybe they're not grown up enough to be making these decisions. Like, what would you say to that?
Then you wait it out. You wait it out, and if they
wait, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem. That people, when people are having like gender confusion and whatever discomfort in their own skin, whatever it may be, I think a lot of the times it's just gonna suck for a while, and you'll get through it. You'll have an answer soon enough. And I think people jump the gun a little too much on this. Like, oh my God, you're transgender. Let's get you hormone therapy immediately. Well, maybe you should just sit on it for 6 months and see what happens.
Well,
just see what happens. And then if it's still persistent, okay, well then maybe go down that road. I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what it involves.
Well, that's why they're teaching it in schools now. And in this particular province where this is happening, this is in St. John, New Brunswick. They are having a huge discussion at this time about whether or not to pull this from the schools, this education program. So I don't know.
What is the education about? What is it? What is
about anything LGBTQ related? Okay, because I don't know about you, but when we went to school, we didn't learn about these things, and I think that some people are scared that if this is discussed in schools to young children,
and I think that the idea of like not as regular relationships, like male female, male whatever, this thing, that thing, whatever it is, I think that should be taught. But I don't know about like it shouldn't be sexual. It should be like don't make it about the actual engagement of sexual activity. Make it about everything that isn't that.
When you think about relationships and people who are
because we didn't get taught about sex either. Like we didn't get taught about like we just got taught about
what
diseases.
I'm trying to say is that when yes, that's true. When you think about straight people in relationships, right?
Yeah.
You think about how do they get along, and maybe you think about sex, but not really. But when people start to think about people of same sex being together, that's the first thing that comes to their mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's what needs to change.
Yeah, I think we need to be
We're all just people here. You know.
I think the population needs to be desensitized to what queer means. Like, dude, whoever you love, fucking love them and fuck them.
Right.
Do it
Exactly.
as much as you can. Love them as much as you can. Fuck them as much as you can. But that's kind of where it ends, you know. And leave the bedroom. I'm at the point where it's like, leave the bedroom in the bedroom. I don't talk about having sex with my wife. I don't talk about how I like to have sex with women. I don't talk how I'm cisgender and like the normal. I don't talk about how I'm a normie. I don't talk about with my friends when I'm with the boys at the bar. We're not talking about fucking chicks and licking pussy. We're not talking about that.
But that's
we're talking about life. We're talking about life, and we're talking about everything. So
why are people so focused on the sex part?
Exactly. Why does it matter? Like, so the sexuality energizes other aspects of a personality. That's fine. Just don't tell me about fucking putting the dick inside the person or vice versa.
Yeah, but
I don't need to hear about that. Tell me all about your how you think that you're being let down by society, how you think that you're being harmed by society. Tell me about all of that. But I just don't teach my kids about the actual act of sex.
They need to know.
And that's like a very individual, private thing as far as I'm concerned.
I agree, but
and I don't need to socially, proclaim my sexuality.
So how old do you think a child should be when they learn that?
I think it should be how their path entails. Like, I mean, it could be young, it could be old.
And did you have sex education at all when you were in school?
Yep. I had it in. I remember actually, he was a junior B hockey player, like a really good hockey player.
Yeah.
In town, and he was our first year out of college. He was like 23. He was our sex ed teacher for gym, like the assistant. Okay. And he taught us how to put on condoms and taught us about pubic hair and how it's going to start growing. This is in junior school, junior high, right? Like grade 6, 7, 8. So literally every kid in there is fucking enthralled in puberty, like a motherfucker.
Everyone needs to know that.
And we learned about periods and wet dreams and that kind of stuff, but never. I guess that is pretty sexual. What we learned, that is pretty sexual.
It is all.
I don't think I need to learn about what a wet dream was in grade 7. I'm gonna figure that one out. Okay,
I think you probably already knew.
Yeah, exactly, right. We know what's going on there, buddy. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it is good to have a progressive look at sexuality. I don't know. I'm severely straight. Right?
Yeah, but okay,
I'm masculine. I'm straight. I don't know. I don't have a point of view on this. It's not my battle. I want to let people fight their battles. That's what I want to do.
This is about human rights.
Yeah, exactly.
And
if you're, I don't know what it's like to be a queer kid, but your voice matters as a queer kid, and I hope someone's listening to you.
Yeah.
That's all I can really ask.
But I think that in order for people to understand it, they have to learn it. Mm-hmm. They have to learn about it.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. I mean, you can't be too quick to judge, and.
I think back to high school and stuff. All the kids that I knew were probably gay. They are now.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, same guy. There was a couple dudes where it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, but no one ever said anything about that.
No, we didn't care. And no one got teased either for that in the 90s.
Some people got teased, for being feminine or something like that, which is not right. Okay,
not my school. My school,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, people will pick on anything. You know what I mean? Like if it's not the same as them or their group, they will pick on it. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Think about racism and all that stuff. It's all related.
Yeah, I think it's like a personality flaw. If you're going to be racist or a bigot in any way, it's just something wrong with your personality.
I just don't know how it affects anyone what somebody else likes to do. Or to wear.
I know it doesn't. But some people don't want their kids manipulated by that.
Yeah. So I guess the bottom line is how old is old enough to learn about sex? Not just
I think puberty. I think I'd say high school, grade 9.
You think?
Yeah, high school. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, but I think that you have to teach children before they have sex, though.
I don't know. We didn't. We worked out fine.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that some aren't having it, though. or that didn't
Oh,
get
well, I
exposed to it
mean,
in, some way.
I know, but we didn't have like I never got a sex talk from my parents or anything like that. I think it starts in the household. I think it starts with the parents.
I
Like if
had
you're
to ask. I had to ask my mother because my friend had her mom told her all about it because her mom was a nurse, right? And she told me, and I was like, "Oh my god, like this is not. This is a lot. This is news, right?" And then I
yeah,
asked my mother, "Can you explain it?" And it took her like a whole 24 hours to get prepared for it, and it
right.
didn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's why it's important to have someone trained to explain it.
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to is the training. Like you can't just have a random undergraduate in arts that went to teachers college teaching this shit. Like it's got to be a professional. That's what I look at.
So
Like a sex therapist maybe, or like
yeah,
there is children and youth sex counselors. For especially for sexual disabilities, what's it called? What's it called when you're fucking chronically horny? What's that called again?
oh, uh,
Uh,
um,
what is it? What is that again?
a
Nympho. Yeah,
nymphomania. Yeah, yeah,
nymphomania. That's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
disability. Like,
Is
and
it?
there's actually I've actually watched a
There's
documentary,
support groups for that. Yeah.
and there I've actually seen documentaries too on girls and guys that orgasm repeatedly involuntarily.
Wow.
Think about that. All of a sudden, you're just like coming your pants for no reason, or like having an
That is a
orgasm.
disability.
That's a disability. That's debilitating for Christ's sakes. All right, should we go over the week's news
Let's do it.
just kind of go over next week? Who knows what we'll be talking about next week?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now going to our Instagram, guys. On our Instagram, we share news in our story, just stuff that we didn't decide to talk about, but that we thought was appropriate for the channel.
Right. Yes.
So here we got the noose around the neck. Iranian model wears a noose around her neck. Wow. Moved to the U.S. to Sweden after struggling with burnout. Now I have 6 weeks of paid vacation. Okay, so think about that.
Do that again. Okay.
Okay, so I moved from the U.S. to Sweden after struggling with burnout. Now I have 6 weeks of paid vacation per year and rarely work overtime. Sweden. The Scandinavian countries are like super progressive with human happiness.
Yeah.
Like lots of benefits, lots of vacation, lots of paid vacation. Like owning my own business,
Yeah.
I take vacation, I lose money. Like that. It'd be
Yeah.
nice if there was some kind of like, you know what? And okay, let's talk about this. I am totally fine with paying taxes for healthcare. Like in that way, I'm a socialist. Like, because I got in that car accident when I was 16. I broke 27 bones.
That's right.
I was in a coma. I got brain surgery, got leg surgery, got jaw surgery, got lung surgery, got all the surgery. Millions of dollars it cost. Would have cost my family. It didn't cost my parents a dime. In fact, they stayed at Ronald McDonald House, which was a subsidized. They cost them like $10 a day to stay at Ronald McDonald House while I was in the hospital.
Wow.
So I am totally down for putting money into like benefits. If everyone could have benefits and
Yeah.
healthcare and paid
Yes, of
vacation,
course.
like I wish as a business owner, I could apply for some kind of like paid vacation where they subsidize my income while I take a vacation.
I see what you mean. But Brent, think about it this way: if I work minimum wage, right, which I've done most of my life, and I want time off, I don't get paid for that.
I know, but I think you should.
You get a vacation pay, but it's
No, but I think you should
you've
be able to
actually worked
apply.
for that.
You should apply for grants. Like if you're a full-time employee without benefits, you should be able to apply for a grant and
Yeah.
get some kind of subsidy to help with
insurance.
vacation time.
You must have insurance and stuff like that, right?
I don't have insurance. Well,
Oh.
we got health care. I have business insurance and I have insurance for my employees.
Okay, yeah, but not for
I
yourself.
I have disability, but that doesn't give me much because I make too much money.
That's
Like, because
interesting. Yeah.
I make so much money that yes, I'm a registered person with a disability, but it doesn't give me any money.
But you
'cause I
also
earn
live
too
in a
much.
country that has free healthcare.
I know, and that's what I love. I wish Americans like Chuck, who's watching right now, and I don't normally acknowledge comments in podcasts, but Chuck is one of my best buddies on the line, one of my best internet buddies, and he
I met
watched the
Chuck.
show. Yeah,
Well,
you've seen Chuck.
on a show. Yeah, we did a Wu
yeah.
Tang thing, I think.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. Okay, let's continue with the
Okay.
with the
Yes, next
stories. Okay. In this one, teens. How do I stop the story from going? There we go. Teens accused of killing and eating beloved mama swan, snatching her 4 babies. They ate a swan and her babies.
Oh,
that's terrible.
Being a teenager is difficult, I think. Well, not as much as being a swan is.
This is one of my all-time favorite fears.
Terrible.
I've been on a cruise, and you sit on the back of a cruise boat, and you spit, and you watch the spit go away, how far you are behind the boat in seconds. And this poor fucker, man goes overboard on Carnival Magic ship off Florida during his first cruise. And he was celebrating his wife's birthday. His wife said that he was a party animal, liked the party, liked being social, he went overboard on a cruise ship and drowned. So that's the news.
So what does that have to do with spitting though? Because
if you're on a cruise boat and you spit off the deck and you see the spit hit the water, and then you count the seconds so you can't see that,
right?
That spit, you're gone. Like, that cruise boat is fucking flying.
Oh.
You know, and it's scary. Like, one of my worst fears is falling off a cruise boat. Because, like, a cruise boat's, when you first get on there, you're like, holy fuck, this place is huge. This is crazy. Yeah. And then after, like, 3 or 4 days, you're like, I got to get off this fucking boat.
Yes, I imagine. Yeah. I've never been on a cruise. Never.
Yeah, I went on a cruise to Dominican, Jamaica, Cozumel, and Turks and Caicos.
It freaks me out because of like it's a cesspool of just germs.
It was fun. Well, I'm not a germaphobe. I'd probably snort a line of germs if I was.
No, but did you ever watch all those shows on TV about all this stuff that happens and it spreads within?
Oh yeah. But I don't know. I kind of like getting sick. I feel like once I get sick and I beat it, I'm stronger.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
I had the flu. I had the flu last weekend.
I almost like getting sick is kind of like working out for your immune system. It's kind of like bench pressing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is World News Indie Podcast, guys. Anything else to say, Ren?
No, I was just gonna say, have you ever spit outside the car window and it flew back in your face?
Promote your book.
Oh, right, my book. Yeah. Okay, so I just need to grab it. And of course, I did not get the one that doesn't have the. This one has the thing on it. It's an author copy that when you get it and you review it. And this one, the reason why they didn't go through is because they didn't have any numbers.
Oh yeah,
but they do send you
a couple times.
But yeah, so this is my new book, Thunder, and it's a memoir and it's prose and poetry. So, but there's only poetry in the middle chapter. Everything else reads, it's prose, but it's a story. It's not just poetry like my first book.
Oh, cool! It's like consecutive. It builds.
Oh yeah, it's a story. Yeah, it's based in the 90s, and it's. I don't want to say too much about it, but there is.
Can you send me a link when we're done here so I can buy it?
Yeah.
I would have bought it by now. I just don't think about it. I just don't.
That's okay. You bought my last one. I appreciate that too.
Yeah, no, I got them, and I just bought my friend, Lady Poetic. I'm not sure if you know her. She's a hip hop artist that I've known for years, and I just bought her book too.
Oh yeah.
So I like supporting that. So support Ren, buy her books. Support me by I don't know. You'll figure it out. Let's end it there. World News Indie Podcast, guys. It's on Spotify. I'll get it up there hopefully tonight. It's only 6:45. I'm going to go to the park with my son. Fantastic show, Ren. I think it went really well.
Yeah, it did. We'll do it again next week.
Next week, 6 p.m. We will see you then.
All right.